Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a book review video. I have 4 books, but the one is a 3-in-1 book, and then I'm sorry if you hear the noise in the background, it's the air conditioning. I didn't want to look really sweaty while I was doing this video. So I'm going to get into the 3 separate books first, and then the last book will be like the 3-in-1 book. So let me tell you guys, these 3 books that I picked out, these 4 books I picked out do not go together at all. And the 2 of these books that are the separate ones were really weird books. Now, this book is called You've Got Murder. It's by Donna Andrews. This is what it looks like. And the funniest thing is I like Donna Andrews' books. I love her Meg Laszlo mystery series. But this book, I had a tough time getting through this book. It was a weird book where it was about this AI who got made by this guy at this company, and it's sentient, where it can think for itself, it can do things for itself, that kind of thing. It's just in a computer. And basically, the person that made this AI, which is a girl, her name's like Turing, because it's from like some movie, and this was made in 2001, I think, so this was like way ahead of its time, I guess. But it's up to this AI to figure out what happened to her creator, because he hasn't been at work for a while, and she's worried about him. She thinks like the worst and everything, so she has to help. She gets these 2 co-workers, human co-workers, to help her with it. The only thing that was really the weird thing about this book was it had italicized writing in it, and that was the part that was basically the AI like talking and figuring things out. And then you had the regular text that wasn't slanted or anything, that was like the main story, and it didn't have any chapters in it. It did not have any chapters in it. So it's basically just one whole story. It was okay, but it wasn't a book that I could get into, basically, because I'm just like, it's weird, like, to me, to have 2 separate dialogues going on, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. It was just a really weird book. And this next book, is an even weirder book. And this is called Cat in the Dark. It's by Shirley Rousseau Murphy. It's a Joe Gray mystery. That's what it looks like. And the story is about these 2 cats right here. And one is called Joe Gray, and the other one is called Dulce, I guess. It's Dulcie. And it's this weird thing where it's about these cats who it's some kind of like legend or something from like Celtic or Scottish lore or something, where these cats can talk and stuff. And they talk to each other, they talk in real life to people and stuff like that. And basically, it's about these 2 cats who, there's this new group that's on the scene, and there's this bad cat, his name's Azrael, because of like the fallen angel or something. And Azrael tells them like, oh, these 3 murders are going to happen, and you're not going to be able to stop them and stuff like that. And they have to figure out who's behind it, if it's like what Azrael said, or is it his group, or is it somebody else's group. It was just a really weird book, because I'm like, why in the world do you want to have a mystery book where cats are talking? Like, I don't get that. It's just a weird book. I think there's a couple more in the series, but I'm probably not going to read them, because that was just a weird book in general. I mean, when I read the 3-in-1 book, I like broke it up. So I read like one story, and then I read a separate story, like one of these mystery books. And this next book I'm going to show you. And I'm like, oh, like that book was weird, because I think I read the AI one first. And I'm like, okay, that book was weird, but I should be able to pick out like a good book next time, and I didn't. I picked out the Cat in the Dark book. So this book was written in the early 2000s, so I don't know how accurate it is. I think it was made in 2002. It's called Fast Food Nation because I really didn't feel like reading another mystery book and it being about like computers or cats that can talk or anything. It's by Eric Schlosser. I don't know how you say Schlosser. I don't know how you say his last name. It's Schlossser. That's what it looks like. Basically, it's about the beginning is about how certain fast food places started to come about, like McDonald's and Burger King and Taco Bell, I think, stuff like that, Wendy's. And it tells you about like all of this stuff that happened, like about the supersized stuff when they did that, about how they started targeting the kids through commercials, how they made Ronald McDonald up, how like people around the world, like kids, they don't know certain like famous, like important historical people, but they know Ronald McDonald from pictures, about working environments and factories, about the different kinds of like bacteria diseases you get, you know, like E. coli, salmonella, that kind of thing. It was kind of interesting, but there was parts in the book where I'm like, why do you have to keep talking about it? Because it's like, you'll get like a section in each, like it's in parts and then it's in chapters. And you'll get a section where you're just like, why do we have to talk about this? You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's just a weird thing. It was a good book. It was hard to get through. Like, I couldn't read it all, like, obviously in a day. There were some pictures in it, but that was just when you started a new part or a new chapter in the book. But yeah, it was an okay book. It was like maybe like 2 stars because you don't know how accurate it is because it's like 20 some years old, that kind of thing. So the last book, last but not least, is a 3-in-1 book. It's called The Brides of Big Valley. It's by Wanda E. Brunstetter, Jean Brunstetter, and Richelle Brunstetter. They're all related. That's what it looks like. It's in 3 stories. It's about this community in Ohio where there's 3 different kinds of Amish, and it's based on what kind of topper they have on their buggy, I guess, or carriage. There's yellow, black, and white topped in the community. They call them white top, black top, yellow top, that kind of thing. And it's basically these 3 women's stories. I have the second book. I have it, so not this book review video, but maybe in the next book, the next book review video I'm going to work on, that I'm starting now, like reading another set of books. Probably in, I guess, October or September, I'll be able to read the second book in the series because it was like a lengthy series. But anyway, the 3 women in this story, they all come from, like I said, the 3 different communities in this town in Ohio. The first one is called Deanna's Determination. That's by Wanda E. Brunstetter. I don't know if I showed you what it looks like. This is what it looks like. They're kind of like fallish kind of stories. They take place in the fall. There's this woman who, she starts getting feelings for this man, and a tragic thing happened where he feels like he can't function anymore. He can't marry her anymore. And then here he learns how to get back into the swing of things based on his accident that he had. And all these stories, like, they kind of start out slow and then they get fast paced. All these stories are like 16 chapters a piece, but the chapters are really short. Like, they're not like extremely long. They're not like 20 or 30 pages or anything like that. Rosemary's Resolve is about this woman who, she works in her family's furniture store, and she had this boyfriend, and he started to go English, which is like how they say, you know, when people like us kind of people, like the modern kind of people, I guess, I don't know how you would say it. And she really didn't like that anymore. He was like the bad boy kind of guy. And then here, this pilot shows up at her house because his plane was breaking down, and he stayed with them for a couple, like, I think a month or something, I don't remember, a few weeks. And she ends up falling in love with him, and he keeps thinking about her, and his dad really is like, hey, like, why do you want to date an Amish woman? Like, you know how hard that's gonna be to, like, become Amish, that kind of thing. And the last story was Leela'S Longing, and that one, like, struck a chord with me kind of towards the end about what happens in the book. But it's basically kind of like Rosemary's story, where she has this little shop where she makes cards, and she basically, like, keeps to herself, where when she was a kid, like, people didn't want to be your friend because of some reason. I don't remember. I don't know if it's because she talked a lot, or she, like, didn't hold anything back. Like, she didn't, like, have, like, an editing button when she talked. And then here she meets this man who's from a different community, not the same community she's in, because she's a yellow top buggy person, and the guy she likes is from the black top Amish buggy community. And so she's worried about, like, trying to convert, I guess, like, how hard it's going to be in that part of the community and vice versa. But it was a really good book. I really liked it. I don't know what the second book is. I don't know if it's going to be, like, 3 separate women again, or if it's going to be these 3. I don't know, but we'll find out. That was my book review video. I'll see you guys next time with another video, and hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.